So this is one of my most favourite things to bake. I absolutely love this recipe. It is my favourite recipe. Like I said, it's the one that I do most often, probably every couple of months or so, just as a nice little treat. And it's probably maybe a little bit healthier one than some of the other recipes or the baking that I do. So let's show you what we put in to make our cakes. So we have 275 grams or 9 3/4 ounces of caster sugar, 200 mils of sunflower oil, 4 medium free range eggs even, about 300 grams of grated carrot, up to 150 grams or 5.5 ounces of nuts or dried fruit, so I've gone for sultanas. Then we've gone for 225 grams or 8 ounces of wholemeal flour, or spelt if you have that instead, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of 1 ground teaspoon of cinnamon, another one of mixed spice, and a tablespoon of cocoa powder. So as I put them in to the recipe, I will just flash up again the quantities for you. So first off, wash the hands. So whenever I do carrot or make carrot, Rocco absolutely loves carrot, so I always cut a little bit extra off for him. What's this? Sit. Good boy. Wait. 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 Good boy. Is that good? Never known such a noisy eater in all my life. But he loves it, and I can't help but give it some. So first off, heat your oven up to 180 degrees centigrade, which I think is 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So first off, we are going to crack all 4 eggs into a bowl. Then we add in the oil. Then we're going to add in all the caster sugar. Doesn't matter if it's got lumps in, because we're going to mix it all up anyway. So now we're just going to beat these together. Here comes the noisy bit. Then we are going to tip in the carrot. It's rather a lot of carrot there, so I've probably done too much, but I'll save some for Rocco. Then I'm just going to stir this in. You can tell I get excited when I start singing. Then you can tip in your sultanas or dried nuts or dried fruit, whatever fruit you like. Don't quite think I've got 150 grams here, but it will be enough for the rest of this recipe. Et voila! Stir those in. Right, so putting that to one side, we then need to combine all of the dry ingredients together. So I'm putting in my 8 ounces of wholemeal flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, which I haven't got a lot left of. Hopefully it'll be enough for this. 1, almost 2, so I'll put the rest in. Or maybe not quite the rest, but almost the rest. Yeah. So that, and then we want a teaspoon each of mixed spice. Oops. One of them. And 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. So I tend to put a little bit more cinnamon because I love cinnamon. And then 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder. Now I'm not too worried that there's lumps in that or that I haven't sieved it, because I know that it will all come together when we put it in with the dry mix. I'm just going to mix all this in now. And we'll squash out any lumps that I do see against the sides. Right, so that's all evenly mixed. And now we're just going to tip it into the wet mixture and combine it all well, stir it all around. And there we have your cake mixture, nice and easy. And now it's just time to pop it in some cases. Now you can make 12 muffins or you can make 24 cupcakes. I've not quite got enough cases for my 12 or 24 cupcakes, but I can always make some extra. So those of you that are eagle-eyed will have noticed that I put this back in the bowl that I had the flour in, because remember this one's got the lip which makes it easier for pouring. So you fill each cupcake to about 2/3 full, because you need to allow room for rising. And this is where I get it all over my cases, my tins even. So there we go, these are now going to go in the oven for 25 minutes at 180. So 25 minutes is up, let's get them out. Yum. They're going to need a few minutes to cool down, so I'll do that, and then I'll come back and show you how to make the icing. So the butter icing, we need 140 grams of unsalted butter, 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk, 280 grams of icing sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla essence, and then if you want it, some food colouring. So let's whack it all together and ice those cakes. So I put my lump of butter in the bowl. It's been outstood on the side for a couple of hours so it softens, but I'm now just going to beat it up. So now I'm going to sieve in half the icing sugar. So let's mix those together. Now I'm going to add in the rest of the icing sugar. Now we're going to add 1 tablespoon to start off with, but we might need a bit more, so we might need 2. We'll pop this in. And we'll pop in the equivalent of 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla essence. That was probably a bit more than 1/4 teaspoon. Right, and back to mixing. And then we're just going to add in some food colouring. So I've got red here, and this Dr. Oetker stuff, you usually need a fair bit of it, but we'll just try it a little bit at a time. And there we have it. So it's kind of gone pink rather than red, but that's what I was aiming for anyway. So let's pop those out and then pop them into, we'll pop the icing into an icing bag. Right, so for this I've got a disposable piping bag. I find these are much easier to use than the ones that you have to clean out all the time. Might not be the most environmentally friendly of me, but then I'm just going to cut off just about an inch off the bottom of the bag. Take my star nozzled pipe thing, what you call nozzle, and then just drop it in the bag so it comes out down the bottom. Perfect. Okay, and then you might wonder why I have a mug here, but that is so that I can use it and steady it as I put in the bag. So I'm literally just bringing that down, popping that in there, and then off we go. So I've got my spatula. I'm just going to take that down the sides and then take not too massive a dollop at once. It's probably a bit big actually, but I'll try to get it in here and get it down to the bottom. Tricky and a bit messy. Squeeze down till it just starts to come out of the bottom. There we go. Then I'm just going to twist, and now I'm going to ice my cakes. So I always start from the outside and work my way in, and just apply some gentle pressure to the top. And I'm not an expert in this, and I am having to squeeze quite hard, so maybe the butter was not quite as soft as I needed it to be, but you don't want it to be too soft, so then it loses its shape. Cakes, what do you think?
On cake control. I've got them, they'll be safe for me.
You know I'm recording, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Here we are, here are all of the lovely iced cakes. And now all we have to do is eat them. Cheers. Delicious. So there we have it, the super easy carrot cake cupcakes. I hope you've enjoyed watching me make these. I hope you go on to make your own. If you do, please leave me a note in the comments below and let me know what you thought, and share any of your favourite cupcake recipes as well. That would be great. I love a cupcake. Anyway, that's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.